Hi, this is Ray with PhoneArena, and you're watching our video comparison between the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact and the Samsung Galaxy S4. On one hand, we have a device that is designed to offer us a premium experience, but in a compact form factor, due to its smaller 4.3-inch display. On the other, we have the tried and true Galaxy S4 with its massive 5-inch display and high-end internals. So let's see how these two stack up against each other, and if the Z1 Compact can really offer us the truly premium experience that we've come to know and love from the Galaxy S4. Size is the most glaring distinction between the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact and the Samsung Galaxy S4. Single-handed use is a joy on the Xperia Z1 Compact, as your thumb can easily reach every corner of it, while the same cannot be said about the Galaxy S4. The two also feature radically different design. The signature glossy plastic used by Samsung does not have that premium feel we expect from a top-shelf device, but that has not stopped the Galaxy S4 from selling in millions. Still, we appreciate the more expensive materials used in the Xperia Z1 Compact. It is made out of glass on both sides, held together by a sturdy metallic frame. It is not just about the looks though. The Z1 Compact is also water and dust resistant. It features the IP58 protection rating, which means that it can survive in water under 3 feet deep for continuous periods of time, more than half an hour. The Z1 Compact has all sorts of slots and buttons on its sides, and you get an easily accessible micro SIM card slot, a micro SD card slot, a volume rocker, lock key, and dedicated camera shutter key. All are within easy reach and have reasonable amount of travel, making them comfortable to press. The Galaxy S has only the volume rocker and the lock keys on its sides, but they are also clicky and easy to press. Sony is known for including not-so-stellar displays with subpar viewing angles in its latest top smartphones, but luckily the Xperia Z1 Compact bucks the trend and actually uses a very nice IPS LCD screen with good viewing angles. Most importantly, the screen has got lively, nicely saturated colors and just looks good. It's a 4.3-inch display. On-screen buttons take up some of the space though, and with a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels. The Galaxy S4 on its part uses Samsung's AMOLED display technology and has a larger 5-inch diagonal size. The screen uses a wider color gamut with more saturated but less realistic colors. Its resolution is also higher at 1080 by 1920 pixels, which makes it even sharper than the Sony display, and as a result, it's easier to read tiny fonts on the Galaxy S4. Samsung's flagship also has superior viewing angles, as even when you tilt it to extreme angles, it retains the colors and brightness very close to those you see when you look straight at the display. Outdoors, the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact has the advantage of being able to get much brighter and it's easier to read. Both the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact and the Samsung Galaxy S4 run on the same Android 4.3 Jelly Bean platform, but it's hard to say so by just looking at them. Sony's Timescape user interface is elegant, filled with animations, and it features clean, realistic-looking icons, while Samsung's TouchWiz is wildly cartoonish, with extremely colorful, rounded icons and funny sounds. The difference is obvious. TouchWiz is definitely more feature-packed. You just don't get the fancy air gestures and smart stay scroll pose on Sony devices, but then again, it's true that not everyone needs those features and not everyone uses them. Phone and messaging, the two core apps, are similar in functionality, and the phonebook easily syncs with the cloud on both. You'd expect typing to be easier on the larger 5-inch Galaxy S4, and it indeed is when you can use both of your hands, but for single-handed typing, the smaller screen actually works out to be a big advantage for the Xperia Z1 Compact. The Sony Xperia Z1 Compact has just launched and it's got time on its side. It features the latest and most powerful Snapdragon 800 system chip, whereas the Galaxy S4, a handset released nearly a year ago, is still sold with the now dated Snapdragon 600 chip. Both are quad-core and very powerful, but the Snapdragon 800 is just faster, capable of reaching higher peak clock speeds of 2.2 GHz. In real-world use, you won't notice any slowdown or lag when doing your daily business and scrolling around the interface and menus. Good news is that both the Z1 Compact and the Galaxy S4 support expandable storage via micro SD cards. On the Sony phone, you can even hot swap micro SD cards as the slot is conveniently located on the side, while the S4 requires you to take out the battery and change the micro SD card. Internal storage is set at 16 GB on both. The default browser on the Xperia Z1 Compact is Google's Chrome, while the Galaxy S4 offers you the choice between its own custom Android browser and Chrome. Loading pages is quick and navigation smooth on both phones. Both feature 4G LTE connectivity, but the Xperia Z1 Compact has the newer and faster hardware. Sony's device comes with support for 4G LTE Category 4 that allows faster download speeds. In reality, that has more to do with future-proofing your device, as currently there is only a handful of carriers that run Category 4 LTE networks. The two also come with dual-channel Wi-Fi connectivity, GPS, GLONASS, Bluetooth 4 and NFC support. The Xperia Z1 Compact features an impressively large image sensor for its size and for a smartphone in general. It's got the same 20.7 megapixel 1/2.3 inch camera as the Xperia Z1, while the Galaxy S4 sports a 13 megapixel camera with a smaller 1/3 inch sensor. That's a huge difference. Sony's sensor is 72% larger, and a larger sensor is capable of better capturing light and is key in enabling better shots, especially when light gets scarce. Both cameras are quick to start, but the Galaxy S4 captures images faster. With all its carefully explained shooting modes and large buttons, Samsung's user interface offers more options like well-explained shooting modes that you can use. Access to manual settings like ISO and white balance are also readily available on both camera apps, which is great for more advanced photographers. Images captured on the two handsets are some of the best you can get out of a smartphone, detailed, sharp and rich in color. The Xperia Z1 has a slight edge as it captures sharper and more realistic looking photographs than the Galaxy S4. This is not to discount the excellent images that the S4 shoots, but it's a nuisance that's noticeable as the S4 images tend to be a bit too contrasty. Indoors, where light gets scarce, the Xperia Z1 still retains its lead. It captures images with a slightly better color balance than the Galaxy S4. Sony's phone also has a slightly more powerful LED flash. For video recording, both handsets capture footage of up to 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution with a frame rate of around 30 FPS. Both recordings are very smooth, without any skipped frames, and provide plentiful detail. However, the Z1 Compact does provide more detail. Sony's phone also records slightly cleaner audio, picking up less wind noise. A large screen plays a huge part of the media experience on a smartphone, where every fraction of an inch makes a difference. That's why the Galaxy S4, with its much larger 5-inch display, has the upper hand when it comes to watching videos or looking through images. For video, both phones play back common file formats with ease, and of course have no trouble decoding 1080p video. For music, the Z1 Compact features the Sony Walkman app with its modern looks and plenty of features like lyrics and artist information that it pulls from the web. Sound from the loudspeakers is nothing to write home about on both phones, as it falls short of the best ones out there. Sound volume is fine on the Galaxy S4 and is just a bit quieter on the Xperia Z1 Compact. Both smartphones feature good call quality. In the earpiece, voices sound almost equally loud and a bit quieter on the Z1 Compact, and clear on both devices. Our callers were also able to easily recognize our voice with its natural tones on both phones. The smaller Xperia Z1 Compact packs a surprisingly large battery for its size. It's got a 2300 mAh battery that is not user removable, while the Galaxy S4, despite the big difference in size, has only a slightly larger 2600 mAh juicer. Not surprisingly, the Z1 Compact is quoted to last longer than 18 hours of 3G talk time versus 17 hours on the Galaxy S4, and standby time is much longer on Sony's phone. So now that we've had a pretty good look at the Z1 Compact against the Galaxy S4, we think that the Z1 Compact can really offer you the truly premium experience that you've come to expect from a modern high-end smartphone. Meanwhile though, the 5-inch display that's available with the Galaxy S4 is truly irreplaceable when it comes to multimedia content like video, games, and why not even reading. So if you're willing to sacrifice some of your comfort of viewing your content for the sake of the comfort of having a smaller device that you can carry around more easily and operate with just one hand, then the Z1 Compact is a great alternative. Still, if you're currently having the Galaxy S4 and aren't dying to switch to a more pocketable device, we would recommend that you stay with your S4.